Hey guys, what's up? My name is Brett Park, and in today's video, we have something really fun and fresh happening, y'all. We are going to be filling out this sketchbook, and I'm going to go over 5 different ways to conquer that first page. If you're anything like me, it's really difficult to start a new sketchbook because you open it up, the pages are fresh, and you especially don't want to ruin the first page because if someone else looks at it, the first thing you're going to see is that drawing, and so there's kind of this like pressure you feel to create the first page really good. So hopefully these tips will inspire you to get drawn in that sketchbook and to conquer that first page. So with all that being said, grab your sketchbooks, y'all, grab your pencils, grab a little snack. You may get hungry during this, and let's get into the video. The sketchbook I am using today is this standard Moleskine sketchbook. It's really fun and fresh. I've been using it for the past month, and I'm actually almost done with it. Hopefully. Maybe. So look forward to a sketchbook tour. And so you may be wondering, oh my gosh, he got through so much of his sketchbooks. I wonder what his first page looks like. Funny story, I skipped the first 3 pages in this because I was too nervous to even start it. And that actually brings me to the very first tip, which is just skip the first page. Like I said earlier, there's kind of a sense of pressure you feel with the first page because if you ever share it with a friend, family, or on social media, that's the very first thing they're gonna look at. And there's kind of an expectation that the first page should be very good, well thought out, and a finished piece when it doesn't have to be anything. It could be anything you want. And it's almost ironic how people put so much pressure on the first page because you're supposed to improve your art over time. So if anything, the last page should be like the best page in your sketchbook, but that's not always the case. And personally for me, when I feel pressured to draw something really well, I just leave it alone. I don't even look at it. I pick up my sketchbook, I look at the first page, and I'm like, girl, I cannot do this. And then I shut it and I just put it away and I don't even touch it for the rest of the month. And so starting a few pages after the start or just starting in the middle period can be a really great way of overcoming that initial pressure because you feel like you have an opportunity later on to fill out that sketchbook. So instead of worrying about making a finished piece, you just go straight to drawing in that middle page and you find this freedom to express yourself however you want, which is exactly what a sketchbook should be. Another really fun way to fill out the first page in your sketchbook is to just collage pieces for the first page or even just paste a final piece. This way the pressures of creating something really impressive in the front is already taken away. You already have something you love, put it in the front of your notebook, and then you're done. That's the first page already filled out. Another fun added benefit to putting an old piece in the front of your page is that it's old. This means that before you even touch your sketchbook, you put in an old piece and you can kind of reference to that piece later on to see how much you improve later because sketchbooks are supposed to help you improve. And so throughout the sketchbook, and especially after you finish your sketchbook, you can see how much you've changed style-wise, how much you improved technique and concept-wise when just looking back to that first page. The third way to fill out the first page in your sketchbook is to do a self-portrait. I've seen a ton of artists like Mepeti do self-portraits in the very beginning, and they are illustrations of them welcoming people into their sketchbook, having this really inviting energy, being like, hey, this is me, this is my sketchbook, and welcome in. It's a fun time. Self-portraits are also a great way of capturing how you see yourself in that specific period of time, or really capture your mental state. So you can always look back later and be like, whoa, I drew that face really weirdly, I drew it kind of funky and fresh. And in my case, sometimes I look back at old self-portraits and I'm like, wow, that had a really depressing undertone, and I did not even plan it to be depressing undertone. You kind of subconsciously integrate that into your self-portraits, and I could be like, damn, that was not a good time mentally, but I'm glad I documented it because now, possibly towards the end of my sketchbook, I may do another self-portrait that's a bit happier. I'm not sure. I am not an extremely happy and enthusiastic person. However, I'm trying to work on that. I'm trying to, better myself, period.
So funny thing about that page, I hated it. It was so bad. I did not like any of the self-portraits. It was just bad. Clearly I can't. I'm having a breakdown. When I was drawing, I was like, oh my god, it's kind of good. And now I'm rewatching it and I'm like, oh my god, it's shite. So maybe don't take our advice from me, okay? Love y'all. Bye.
The fourth way to start your sketchbook is to do a drawing or piece that is based off of what you want to work on throughout your sketchbook. So for this particular sketchbook, I really wanted to work on my faces, and I also wanted to work on my conceptual art as well as centering art around happiness because I find myself naturally gravitating towards sadder topics. If you happen to see my portfolio video for USC, you'll notice that a lot of my portfolio pieces were a bit dark, a bit sad. Yeah. It was a lot, for no reason, almost. It was a lot, and I realized that making depressed and kind of sad art is really easy for me because I can tap into that emotion like that. It's pretty easy to self-deprecate and to spiral into a dark place. However, it's really difficult for me to find happy moments in my life that I want to draw, and I never really attempted to make happy art. So I thought the sketchbook, which is a safe space for me, would be a great place for me to explore happy art topics. Yeah. Not sure what to say, but this is what I created. The fifth and final way to fill out that first page is to simply make a list of your goals for the sketchbook or what you want to improve in that's art related or even just life related. You can also write your manifestations here and just collage different notes and words onto the page. This makes it super low pressure because it's not actually a drawing, but it still looks cool and also sets the tone for the rest of your sketchbook. So every time you open your sketchbook, you'll see that manifestation list or that goal list, and to create art in your sketchbook that works towards those goals. For example, like I said earlier, I really want to work on conceptual art and happier art, and so that'd be a goal I would write down for myself at the very beginning. And in terms of manifestation and goals, I really want to meet more creatives on my college campus for the first semester, and I also want to just constantly create content, whether it's video content, art related content, commissions, or even making a store with prints and stickers. That is totally not what I'm doing right now. Shh. It can be you manifesting literally anything, and usually with manifestations, you write it down repeatedly so you can fill up a ton of space on the page. Kind of fun and fresh. And it does not have to be a simple post-it note list. It can also be a collage of different fonts, some fun typography in there, different compositions of words. It can really be anything. You can be as creative as you want. Just go ham with it, do whatever you want. It's your sketchbook. And if you want to, you can just write down no on the first page. Be like, no, I don't want to fill you out, and just move on. You can literally just write that. I used to do that with the last page of my sketchbooks because I hate doing the last page of my sketchbooks. So I literally just write down a no and then put a heart and then close the thing. Maybe you can do that for your first page as well. Another unofficial way of just filling it out is to just rip it. Like, fill out your entire sketchbook and then rip out the first page. You can do whatever you want. Just rip that shit out. Yeah. With all that being said, y'all, thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked the video, like the video. And if you have a fun comment, critique, or joke to share, comment it down below. I always try to respond to y'all, and I see every single comment because we are a small, tiny community here. And if you like me, my art, want to follow my journey as an art student in LA, you can subscribe. It's a fun time here. And I think that's the end of the video, y'all. That's the end of the video.